Hello Valentina.
Hello.
First, could you briefly introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Valentina. I'm 19 years old. I live in Kralupy and I study at Bank Academy. After my graduation, I'd like to study abroad, somewhere in Europe, and I read books in my free time. My favorite writers are J.K. Rowling and Stephanie Meyer, and I'd like to become a famous writer in the future.
Thank you. Now let's move to part 1. I'm going to ask you some questions about the topic health and body care. If possible, give detailed answers, and if you don't understand the question, please ask me to repeat it. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so my first question is, how do you keep fit and healthy?
I do nothing special. I eat lots of fruit and vegetable because I think it's better to get vitamins from healthy food than from pills, and I walk my dog almost every day to keep fit.
And when was the last time you were ill?
I was ill 14 days ago. I had the flu and high fever. First day I had the headache, sore throat and backache, and then I had a cough and a runny nose.
And where do you go if you suffer from toothache?
I have to go to the dentist.
Are you afraid of dentists?
Yes, I'm afraid of dentists because I have a bad experience. My dentist had to pull out my 2 teeth, and I was wearing braces for 2 years, and it was uncomfortable.
What would you do if you saw a car accident?
In the first place, I would give first aid, and then I would call an ambulance, and I would stay with the injured ones and speak with them, and I try to keep calm because I can imagine that it's really hard to deal with this situation.
Yeah, it's quite important. Thank you. Now let's move to part 2, task 1. Look at pictures 2a and 2b on the separate handout. Which picture would you like to talk about?
I'd like to talk about picture 2b.
Okay, describe it.
There are 2 young girls and 1 old man in the picture. I guess these girls are working for foundation. Probably they are collecting money for this foundation, and both girls have got the same yellow t-shirt with the foundation logo. The old man is wearing a green coat, and he's giving money to the girls because he's holding a wallet. I think they are staying on Wenceslav Square because I can see a historical tram in the background, and I think the atmosphere is friendly because they are supporting a good thing. They should be happy and proud of themselves, and I think it's in the morning because there are only a few people in the background.
Thank you. And let's move to task 2. Have a look at both pictures once more. Now I would like you to compare them.
This picture is quite different from picture 2a. There are more people in picture 2a. Both pictures show young people, with the exception of the old man in picture 2b. In comparison with the picture 2b, the people in picture 2a are doing nothing for society. They are just relaxing. The background in picture 2a is completely different from the background in picture 2b. people are in the city center in picture 2b, but in picture 2a there is a wall with graphics in the background, and it may be a remote area. Both pictures show friendly atmosphere, I guess, and that's all.
Thank you. Now let's move to task 3. Now I'm going to ask you some general questions. How do you communicate with your friends or classmates?
I communicate with them face to face at school, and when I'm at home I use social networks like Facebook.
Thank you. Let's move to part 3. Now you are going to speak on your own about the USA. I want you to focus on topics such as geography, political system, places of interest, and famous personalities.
The USA is situated between two oceans, the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. The highest peak is Mount McKinley, which is situated in Alaska. It borders with Canada in the north and Mexico in the in the south. There are 5 lakes on the Canadian border: the Erie, Ontario, Michigan, Huron, and Superior. And between lakes Ontario and Erie are situated Niagara Falls. The longest river is the Missouri River, followed by the Mississippi River. The other important rivers are the Colorado River and the Columbia River. The USA is a former British colony which declared independence on the 4th of July 1776. Now there are 50 states. The biggest one is Alaska and the smallest one is Rhode Island. And Alaska and Hawaii are separated from US mainland. There are 50 stars in its flag because of 50 states, and 13 stripes because of 13 colonies which declared independence. The capital city is Washington, D.C. It means District of Columbia, and before it was Philadelphia. There is a White House in Washington, D.C. where the president lives. Now it's Barack Obama. He is the first black president of USA. There are 300 million inhabitants, and it's often called a melting pot because it's made up of many ethnic groups. Its political system is based on its constitution. The government is divided into 3 branches. The first branch is executive, and it's made up of president and his cabinet. The second one is the legislative, and it's made up of 2 houses. The Senate, there are 100 senators, 2 from each state, and the House of Representatives, there are 435 representatives, and together they make Congress. And the last branch is judicial, and its official court system, and the highest court is Supreme Court. There are many places of interest, for example the Yosemite Nation Park, or the Yellowstone Nation Park, or the Sequoia Nation Park, or the Grand Canyon. For fun, there is Disneyland
Yes.
in Florida, and there are many big cities, for example New York, where is Statue of Liberty. And as for famous personalities, I'd like to point out Ernest Hemingway, author of The Old Man and the Sea, for which he received the Nobel and the Pulitzer Prize. And my favorite American actors are Morgan Freeman, Jack Nicholson, Cameron Diaz, Julia Roberts, and Meryl Streep. I love her performance in Sophie's Choice and Mamma Mia.
Thank you, that was very nice. Let's move to part 4. Now we are going to talk together, and I want you to imagine the following situation. I'm your best friend who has just arrived from Germany, and I want to spend 3 days in Prague. But we still have to decide on the things to do and on places to visit. I also want you to show me around your city. I will play the role of your friend and I will start the conversation. So Valentina, where can you take me today?
Well, we can go to the Petřín. It's a place for people who are in love, and then we can go to visit the Prague Castle, and we can walk on the Charles Bridge, and then we can go to the Old Town Square, because I'd like to show you the astronomical clock.
That's a good idea. I've already seen some pictures. But this is our plan for the first day. What about the next day? I'm quite interested in Czech cuisine. Do you happen to know any good restaurants in the area?
We don't need to go to the restaurant because I'm a good cook. I can prepare something by myself.
Okay.
So I would like to invite you for dinner at 6 o'clock.
Well, thank you very much for the invitation. That sounds great. Now the last day of my visit. At home I usually go to the gym. Are you a member of a good fitness club here in Prague?
No, I'm not. But I can call a friend of mine who works as a fitness instructor, and I believe he can arrange a free passage for both of us in his gym.
That sounds great.
And then we can go shopping and we can go to the cinema at the evening.
Wonderful. Now, could you just summarize the things we have agreed on?
Yes, so the first day we go sightseeing. The next day you will enjoy my delicious Czech cuisine.
I'm looking forward to it.
And the last day we can burn the calories in the gym.
Okay, wonderful plan. Thank you very much. And that's also the end of the examination.